All right, so hey, my name is Melissa Lynn. I'm an animation supervisor here at Mercury Filmworks, and yeah, I made this thing. So with this short film, what I was really wanting to do is play, basically. I wanted to have fun, wanted to do something that was fun, lighthearted, really cute. And for me, like when I'm animating, like I tend to sort of follow what my instincts tell me and like what my feelings are, and I'm really musically driven as well. So this was very much for me an opportunity to just play and have fun and see what I can come up with and kind of play with like an abstract concept or something that's not like tangible and see how I can represent that in an animated form. It was definitely a fun challenge for sure. I know that because of the format of the program that we had, with having the 4 work days to work on it, it was something that I wanted to keep as a simple concept. And whether or not it was simple in execution is up for debate. But it was very, very fun to, just have this time to really dig into something that is completely my own and to veer away from what we do in our normal day-to-day, because we have like these expectations or a certain style that we need to do in our shows regularly, and this was such a great time to pull away and do something completely different. So I think that even just the structure of the program itself, to give us that like full day to just immerse ourselves, was such a great thing and so helpful, because it's tough to do like one style during the day and then switch to another style. So having that full work day to work on our stuff was really, really great. If I ever needed something, the team was always there to help me with things. Even the things that maybe I was shy about asking for, they still got it for me. And so I really, really appreciated having people to support the whole way through, but still having it be a project that is entirely my own as well. Part of what makes it tough to sometimes do your own projects is that like it's entirely your own, unless you have a team working with you too, but that's still kind of on you to organize everything. And that's not to say that that's something that can't be done, because people do it all the time, but with this sort of concept, it just allows for the things that we really, really excel in. Those are the things that we focus on, and then the things where we kind of maybe aren't as confident with, or maybe just aren't as fast at, or something that we don't do every single day. Oh, I think it's teams. But yeah, something that, we don't necessarily do every day, to have someone there to kind of fill that gap is such a great thing, so that, everything can sort of be more even, or just like be more well-rounded in a way, and having other people's experiences and knowledge to kind of filter in as well is such a great thing too. I think when I started, I didn't really want much, actually. Like I wanted to create something that was uniquely my own and that looks really like different. But other than that, I was very much like, I would love the space to just like immerse myself and just dive in and really, really go all out. And then what I ended up needing maybe the most was time. With all the support that I had, everything that I needed came to me, even though it wasn't like the time part, because you can't really, it's not how time works, but but with everything else, I think I ended up getting what I needed. So by the end of it, it was very much like, it may not have been what I envisioned the process to be like, but it was exactly what I needed in order to complete the process. Really fun to make things, and it's really difficult too. So, it's not just like, we can say it's fun, and like, that doesn't mean everything is super, super smooth and it goes the way you expect. It's still a challenge, and there's a lot of puzzles that need to be solved along the way. But honestly, like, that's part of the joy too, because then you figure out the puzzle and you're like, yeah, it's working. I think if I were to give advice about starting the shorts program or being a part of it is, if you think your idea is simple, go simpler. because you can always build upon something that's very, very simple and make it something really special. If you try to like take something that's a really big concept and like pare it down, that's a lot harder to do, I think, which is kind of what I fell into a little bit. So it's not something that is super required, but I think that just the format of everything, and you know, based upon what our normal work day-to-days are like, it's a great thing to just, whatever you have, cut it in half and then work with that. I think that's the main thing. I think that when we work in the industry for such a long time, it's really hard to make personal projects, and for a lot of people, not everyone, but a lot of people, myself included, the last time we kind of did a project of this sort of scale, even though it's not a huge scale, but you know, something like this would have been in school or before work, or when you're trying to look for work or building up a portfolio and that sort of thing. And when you work for a while and you're on a team, you get used to a certain workflow or a certain pattern on how things will go. And to turn around and do something that's your own after not doing that for a long time is a really big shift. And it doesn't mean that it's really difficult for everyone. I think it's a great thing, and it's a shift that is, you know, it's something that is easily adapted to depending on the person. But for me, what I found when I was going through creating my short film was just, it was almost like revisiting how I felt when I was making my student film. And towards the end, it was like the same stresses of making that student film and hoping it was good enough to get hired, and like all of those emotions came right back up. So for me, making the short film, as much as it was about just creating something fun and cute that I could share with people, and like, you know, hopefully everyone will see it and enjoy it and just be like, oh, that was so nice. As much as I went in with that being the main concept, that being my main goal to convey, all of those feelings still came up. So it was very much for me a mental health challenge. And I think that, you know, I would encourage that anyone that wants to make a project to just go for it anyway, and you know, make sure that you have your supports in place, especially if you need to, or if you're afraid to. You know, there's lots of options available. You can reach out to your peers and your friends and all of those types of things. But it's really important to still make things, even if you're afraid. I'm afraid, but I did it. Please still make things. Everybody has a unique voice and a unique perspective on life, and anything that you make is worth sharing with everyone. So even if it's scary, still make it. It's worth it. And even if it's really hard, hopefully you will remember or know that there are people around to support you and to uplift you as you go through it. And I want to give a shout out to everybody that helped me, the entire shorts team, Cedric in compositing, Alexis with character design, and Bonnie and Dave with color. I appreciate all of you. This was such a great opportunity, and you know, I'm so grateful for all of the help and stuff as well. So thank you everyone that was involved.